Hey guys, what's going on? So today we're going over the January 16th patch note. We got a new hero, Zeno, a 5-star ice mage. Take a look at his skills. So his basic skill, 25% chance to stun for 1 turn. Alright, so it looks to be single target and not a super high chance for that stun, but let's check out the other. So here's a passive, increased defense and damage of Ancient Beast by 5% when the enemy uses a non-attack skill, which can stack up to 10 times. So, 50% extra damage on top of the ultimate skill sounds kind of like a lot, I guess. But it does also sound a little bit niche, like non-attack skills. I'm sure there is some content where there's a lot of non-attack skills going off, but then we have the Ancient Beast, which has a very short cooldown of 4, which may be able to go down a little bit lower. And with this one, we're just going to look at the After Awakening because, it doesn't take too much effort to awaken the skill. Summons an Ancient Beast to attack all enemies with a 55% chance to silence for 1 turn and inflict bleeding for 2 turns. Okay. I mean, maybe you can do a ton of damage, if you bring him in the right place where there's tons of enemies doing non-attack skills. But, I don't know. For me, it doesn't sound that interesting. I mean, is silence even good? Probably for some stuff, but then it's a pretty low chance only for 1 turn. And then there's bleeding, I guess, which is okay. I don't know how much his damage is increased proportional to max health, if you should really build someone who seems to be a DPS with a bunch of HP. But okay, I'm not really interested. Also, he's no waifu, so yeah, there's not even that. So I'm going to pass on him. Maybe there's something special I'm missing, but to be honest, I don't know, just doesn't sound super interesting to me. And then we have the specialty change, which is Roozid. While I was reading the developer note, I was wondering when he would come, but I read the developer note before I read the patch note, so that's where my confusion came from. But obviously, he is coming today or tomorrow, whenever the patch drops. So we know what's going on with specialty change. I'm not sure if we can actually see. I think we can actually see what happens with his skill. That's, I think, one of the most important, depending on what happens. So before, increased combat readiness of all allies by 20% and grants the caster continuous heal for 2 turns through the power of the moon. And once it's awakened, same, but also increased speed for 2 turns to all allies through the power of the moon. Also grants, okay, so basically just also increasing speed of all allies for 2 turns, which is pretty cool. Definitely a nice buff there. And of course, like usual, gotta get him to level 50 to start the specialty change. And here's what you gotta do. Shiny Charm Catalyst, Powers of Knowledge. Oh, those come from grinding artifacts. 500 Bell Mice. Okay, so nothing super hard. Just kind of grindy with those 500 mice there. And then here we got the skill tree. We're gonna quickly take a look at it. Health, 5% combat readiness, damage dealt, speed. I don't really understand this one. When Moonlight Roar is used, if the target's combat readiness, Moonlight Roar? Yeah, I'm not too familiar with Roozid. Oh yeah, the target of Moonlight Roar would be himself. Okay, it makes a bit more sense now. I guess the target would be all allies, and if I guess any of the allies are under 50%, then it'll increase by 5% max. Increase attack down chance on Wind Slash, max 25%. That's pretty high. Also, I guess reducing the target's combat readiness with Wind Slash, and increase evasion chance. That's kind of odd. I'm not sure if there are any other buffs like that. Okay, so I don't know if that's gonna throw Roozid into the meta or anything. But there are some pretty interesting little buffs there. Again, I could always be missing something, but obviously a fully skill-treed Roozid would be better than an average 3-star, I guess. Does seem to be kind of a lot of combat readiness, but then again, we have a lot of others with combat readiness as well. So just first impressions wise, I might get him to 50 just so the random Bell Mice I fight would count towards his thing, and if, it turns out that he is some kind of god, then I would be closer to getting him. Oh, but then it says here, specialty change quests can take place for no more than 2 heroes at a time. So if I was kind of lazily doing Roozids and then Hazel's came along and she was way amazing, I couldn't start hers until I was finished with Roozid. So maybe I actually will just wait on that. And then we got a challenge for Zeno. I guess we can, we can farm Zeno. Okay, well, he's more interesting now, for sure. I thought he'd just be another rate-up hero. Okay, well in that case, he actually doesn't sound too bad, because you could get his awakening or his memory imprint pretty high as well if you farm it hard enough. Epic Hell, there's a new difficulty. Epic Hell. Epic Hell has a 50% chance of dropping it, but it probably will be pretty hard. It looks like kind of an arena-esque sort of battle system. Getting him up to 6-star would be crazy easy as well. Just get, well, maybe crazy easy 50% drop rate on epic hell. So if you can do epic hell, oh, it costs 60 energy though. Jeez. But still, you know, you could almost max out his memory imprint and get him up to 6-star just using copies of himself. That's a pretty good deal. And you get some extra rewards here just for doing the clear 40 times. Jeez. Above hard difficulty. Gotta do at least hell for that one. Got some guild improvements, I guess, for the coming guild wars and, you know, stuff like that. The role of guild captain can now be transferred. If the leader doesn't log on for 7 days, the leadership will be transferred to someone else. And the transfer will go to the vice captain or the non-vice captain if there aren't any vice captains with the highest contribution. Some other small updates, not super important, I think. Looks like Kin got a bit of a change to his knockout skill. Looks like it's actually been buffed. It's the same, but with a 35% chance to decrease defense for 2 turns. That's pretty nice. Also, Celestial Kick will no longer consume Fighting Spirit. Don't own Kin, never really looked into him, but cool. That sounds like it got better as well. Little graphic updates on the skill trees. And most of this other stuff just seems like little sort of bug fixes or UI improvements and such, which you can pause and read if you're interested, but I read through it. Doesn't seem like there's anything super important here to go over. But yeah, I guess I'll pretty much do it for the patch note. One little note is that I have also already checked out the major future update notice. I actually checked that out first and made that video first, but I'm going to edit this one first and then put it up. And then I'll put up the major future update notice video talking about Guild Wars and all that. But I was kind of confused at the end about Roozid and when his specialty changed, but then I found out it's in this patch note, so that's a little bit weird. But whatever. So all around, pretty solid update. Some nice changes, some nice fixes in there. A new 5-star farmable hero. His skills don't sound super interesting or just his kit as a whole, but he's free, 5-star hero. I'm not sure what his memory imprint is though. Probably says that somewhere in here, but should be pretty powerful regardless of what it is, since he's a 5-star and everything. It'll be percentage based most likely. So yeah, even though like bug fixes and stuff are boring, they're important and and as usual, they have quite a lot of them, so that's good. But yeah, cool. So make sure to tell me what you think in the comments down below. Leaving a like if you did happen to enjoy is always greatly appreciated as well. Thanks, as always, for watching, and until next time.